Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We will continue our reading from Vaisnava Ke. What kind of devotee are you? Verse number 4. We will be reading today from Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lankayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamam Vande Shri Gurum Deen Tarinam Parmananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hariyam Tatsat. Pratishtha Taru Jad Maya Maru Na Pel Ravan Yujiya Raghav Vaishnav Pratishtha Tate Karanishta Taha Na Bhajile Labhihe Raurav. My dear mind, beware of your desire to attain material reputation. It is misleading you with its attractive vision like an oasis of green trees, but it is simply a mirage in the desert of this world of repeated birth and death. It will cause your utter spiritual destruction. Remember how Ravan, the powerful demon, was bewildered due to false pride, and in spite of all his efforts to achieve temporary material prominence, he was destroyed by Raghav, Lord Ramchandra. The only position you should desire is to become a true Vaishnav, a pure devotee of the Lord. Give all your care and attention for obtaining this. If instead you neglect to purely worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, due to your offenses for all your hard endeavors, your life will simply be hellish. Purport. Fame, position, and material acquisitions appear beautiful to a person in the grips of material desires. Together they loom before him like a beautiful garden of enjoyment. The materialistic person longs to go there and enjoy all varieties of pleasure. He thinks, if only I had this position, this wealth or fame, then I would be very truly happy. But in fact, when he arrives in this illusory garden of material joys, the mirage vanishes and he finds only a dry, waterless desert. His thirst wants quenching, and he seeks out the mirage, imagining that position, wealth, and fame will bring him happiness. For all his endeavors, however, for all his running after the false oasis of happiness, the deluded fool only achieves the sand of the desert-like material world. Yeh swadeha smrito natma martyo vit krimi bhasmavat ta enam atmasat kritva shlagyanti hya asatmaha grihasthya kriya tyago vrata tyago vatorapi tapasvino grama seva vikshor indriya lolata ashrama pasada hya ete klava ashram vidambhanaha Deva Maya Vimudhapam Stan Upekshatanu Kampaya. Sannyasis who first consider that this body is subject to death, then it will be transformed into stool, worms, or ashes, but who again give importance to the body and glorify it as a self, are to be considered the greatest rascals. It is abominable for a person living in the Grihastha ashram to give up the regulative principles, for a brahmachari not to follow the brahmachari vows while living under the care of the guru, for a vanprasth to live in the village and engage in so-called social activities, or for a sannyasi to be addicted to sense gratification. One who acts in this way is to be considered the lowest renegade. Such a pretender is bewildered by the external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and one should either reject him from any position or, taking compassion upon him, teach him, if possible, to resume his original position. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, verse 37 to 39 of the 15th chapter. The real position of happiness is to be a Vaishnav, a servant of the servant. Sometimes a devotee desires a position as a temple manager, a sannyasi, or more, but his desire is not pure. He is hankering after position rather than the service of Krishna. Not understanding that he should get Krishna pull him up to any position necessary for him to perform his service. Krishna is no fool. He knows perfectly well if a certain devotee truly desires to perform a wonderful service for him. A devotee should carefully assess if increased responsibility will actually help his devotional service. He should not attempt to seize position falsely thinking this will help my service. No, one should independently make any unauthorized endeavor. If a devotee completely fixes his mind and channels his energies into increasing and purifying his devotional service, Krishna will automatically give him unlimited opportunities for service. Enanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam budhau Kripaya tavapad pankaja sthita dhuli sadrisham vichintaya. O son of Maharaj Nand, that is Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. This is from Sri Shikshashtaka, verse number 5. In his purpose, Srila Prabhupada uses the appropriate analogy of cream. Cream naturally rises to the top of the milk. Similarly, if a devotee desires are pure, light and free from all material contaminations, those pure desires will pull one higher and higher in devotional service. There is no need to be misled. One should exclude all other desires except one, to be the servant of the servant. In other words, to be a pure Vaishnava. For a devotee, even mukti, liberation, is not important. Mukti is already achieved if a devotee is pure. Pure devotee means, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu indicates, a devotee with no extraneous desires. Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagat isha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhaktir ahetuki tvai. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. This is from Sri Shikshashtaka, verse number 4. In this material world, everyone is hankering after riches, that is the dhanam, and a good family, that is janam. Leaders are aspiring for pure popular votes. Janam means followers as well as family, and every man dreams of attaining a beautiful, obedient wife. Sundarim kavitam. These are the aspirations of material life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu declares, however, that he does not want these things. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. This is bhakti, love, when devotee is free from all such material desires. He becomes fit for executing pure devotional service. He then achieves real mukti. The sincere devotee works to cleanse his heart. The heart is always yearning for money, women, and prestige. It yearns to be a leader, a minister, or even a guru. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs Cheto Darpan Marchanam, first cleanse the heart. This is again stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. By regular attendance in classes on the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter number 2, verse 18. A devotee must daily read and hear Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Then his heart will be cleansed and he will understand his relationship with Krishna, and by acting in that relationship, his life will be perfect. Brahma bhutah prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samaha sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. One who is thus transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 54. Shuddha bhakti haite haya prema utpanna ataev shuddha bhaktir kahiye lakshana. When one is situated in pure devotional service, he develops love of Godhead. Therefore, let me describe some of the symptoms of pure devotional service. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrit, Madhya Leela, chapter 19, verse number 166. So this brings us to the end of verse number 4. We will continue with verse number 5 next time. Thank you for joining. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.